coming up. Should we stay or should we go when it comes to Afghanistan? We got our guy in Pakistan. So what are we doing in Afghanistan? We'll talk with Congresswoman Chellie Pingree, who's asking the same question.
Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay?
So if we got the guy in Pakistan, no less, why are 100,000 American troops at billions of dollars a year, where we fund both sides of the war as they hijack a third of the trucks that come in while we bribe them for the other two-thirds? Why is that still going on in Afghanistan? With Osama bin Laden dead, pressure mounting on the president to end the Afghan war and get our troops and our tax dollars out. In the decade since September 11th, 1,570 U.S. troops have been killed in that war, with nearly $1.3 trillion spent on operations in Iraq and Afghanistan, and an additional 4,500 troops killed in Iraq. Right now, the White House insists that while the death of bin Laden's a big victory, it's not a reason to change the president's current exit plan. And joining us now on the hotline is Democratic Congresswoman Chellie Pingree from Maine. She has begun an online petition commending the president for bringing Osama bin Laden to justice and asking for an accelerated withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan in July. She's promising to bring the signatures to the president. And Congresswoman, in an ideal scenario, what exactly would you have the president do?
Well, you know, the president made two commitments to us. One was to bring back Osama bin Laden, and the other one was to commit to an accelerated withdrawal from Afghanistan starting in July. I think, you know, we've all agreed our troops did an amazing job. Our intelligence was good. The president was a great leader in that. And we need to support him in his idea originally of the accelerated withdrawal from Afghanistan. I mean, I sit on the Armed Services Committee. I will be honest, I opposed the war from the start. But, you know, we listened to one general after another telling us, well, you know, next year it's going to be better. Next year, you know, we'll have this country rebuilt and we'll be there. Well, it's been over 10 years. You talked about the loss of lives, the $7 billion a month. That's $10 million an hour at a time when our country can't afford the loss of lives or the blow to our economy, and it's not working. So I think the president needs to hear loud and clear from members of Congress, from his supporters around the country, hey, we'll be with you if you start withdrawing our troops.
At the same time, the president at the West Point speech made it clear that his goals in the Middle East were less about capturing bin Laden than the following characterization. Take a listen.
Our overarching goal remains the same: to disrupt, dismantle, and defeat al-Qaeda in Afghanistan and Pakistan, and to prevent its capacity to threaten America and our allies in the future.
At the end of the day, is it necessary to spend the kind of money, bankrupt our own nation, obviously, in the process, as long as we can pull this off?
Look, he did an amazing job with bin Laden. It was a target approach. We found out where he was. We went in and got him. And let's remind ourselves, it was in Pakistan. We've been told there are less than 100 al-Qaeda operatives in Afghanistan. Afghanistan is where we have a major war going on. You know, there are pockets of terrorism around the world. I support the president in keeping us safe from terrorism, but I don't think the war in Afghanistan, with the enormous nation building that's going on there, at a time when we could use some of those roads and schools here in our own districts, back in our own countries, I don't think it's being successful. And it's okay to say, we had a great victory, now let's change our tactics.
Matt Miller, do you agree with that? And ultimately, is it much easier just to keep blowing the money and shouting booyah and shooting things?
I hope not. I hope that the fact that the president pulled this off with the special forces with bin Laden will embolden him to take a tougher stand with his own military brass come July, because all the dynamics, so far as we understand right now, is that the military is trying to only pull out as few people as possible, as will meet some minimal political threshold that lets Obama say he's starting to withdraw. The real battle is going to be how many of the 100,000 or so you're going to start to bring home. And if we've got bin Laden, if there's only 100 al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, and if we look at the big picture and think we can't build a nation in Afghanistan, I hope that the Congresswoman's efforts really bear fruit.